WBO welterweight champion Brian Norman Jr. proved he might be the top fighter in the 147-pound division after securing a dominant third-round technical knockout victory over Derrieck Cuevas in Las Vegas. The fight took place at the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, where Norman Jr. put on an impressive performance that left no doubt about his abilities. From the start, it was clear that Cuevas was a dangerous opponent with powerful punches, but Norman Jr. was able to overcome the early pressure and turn the fight in his favor. In the opening round, Norman Jr. started cautiously, allowing Cuevas to land some heavy shots. Cuevas, known for his powerful punches, took advantage of Norman Jr.'s slower start and connected with some solid hits. Despite taking some damage, Norman Jr. remained composed and studied his opponent's movements. He absorbed the early blows without showing signs of distress, focusing on finding openings to counterattack. It was a challenging round for Norman Jr., but he managed to get through it without major trouble. As the second round began, Norman Jr. started adjusting his strategy and found success with his left hook. He began landing significant punches that started to shake Cuevas and shift the momentum of the fight. The impact of these hooks became evident as Cuevas started slowing down, showing signs that he was feeling the power behind Norman Jr.'s strikes. The confidence in Norman Jr.'s movements increased, and he started dictating the pace of the fight. His precise punching and ability to exploit weaknesses in Cuevas's defense gave him the upper hand. By the third round, Norman Jr. had taken full control. He landed a massive left hook that connected with precision, stunning Cuevas. The force of the punch left Cuevas visibly shaken, and he struggled to recover. Sensing his opponent was in trouble, Norman Jr. wasted no time in pressing forward. He followed up with a powerful right hand and another devastating left hook, causing Cuevas to lose balance and collapse onto the canvas. The intensity of Norman Jr.'s attack made it clear that he was determined to finish the fight as soon as possible. Cuevas managed to get back on his feet, but his body language suggested that he had made up his mind about not continuing. Instead of responding to the referee's commands and showing that he was ready to fight, Cuevas turned away and walked straight to his corner. His decision signaled that he no longer wanted to continue, prompting referee Thomas Taylor to step in and stop the fight. The official time of the stoppage was 2:59 in the third round. It was an unexpected way for the fight to end, as many fans were surprised by Cuevas's apparent surrender. With this dominant victory, Norman Jr. made a strong case for being the best fighter in the welterweight division. His combination of power, speed, and precision showed that he could be a serious threat to the top names in the division, including Jaron "Boots" Ennis, Imantas Stanionis, and Mario Barrios. Many believe that Norman Jr.'s punching power and aggressive fighting style could pose a major problem, especially for Ennis, who has shown defensive vulnerabilities in previous fights. Norman Jr.'s ability to capitalize on those weaknesses could make him a nightmare opponent for any fighter in the division. There is speculation that Boots Ennis's promoter, Eddie Hearn, may try to avoid setting up a fight between Ennis and Norman Jr. Some believe that Hearn may not want to risk putting Ennis in the ring with a fighter as dangerous as Norman Jr., fearing that a loss could damage Ennis's reputation and career trajectory. Instead of negotiating a fair deal for a unification fight, Hearn might offer a lowball contract as a way of keeping Norman Jr. away from Ennis. This is a common tactic in boxing, where promoters strategically avoid certain matchups to protect their fighters. If Norman Jr. continues to dominate, it may become increasingly difficult for other fighters to ignore him, and he could soon find himself at the top of the welterweight division. Norman Jr.'s victory not only solidified his status as a top contender, but also sent a clear message to the rest of the welterweight division. His ability to dismantle a tough opponent like Cuevas in just 3 rounds showcases his potential to become a dominant force in the sport. Unlike many fighters who take time to warm up, Norman Jr. displayed the ability to quickly adapt, identify weaknesses, and exploit them with precision. This adaptability will be a crucial asset as he faces even tougher opponents in the future. Another important takeaway from this fight is Norman Jr.'s power and finishing ability. While some fighters rely on accumulating points over several rounds, Norman Jr. has the kind of knockout power that can end fights early. His combination of speed and strength makes him a dangerous opponent, capable of turning the tide of a fight in an instant.